Happy Thursday, everybody. We are back for another live stream. We've been coming to the last 3 weeks, just not stopping Friday, and we're not stopping, not on a day like today, most definitely. And I know a lot of people don't show up during this time. So for those of you who are here and who are here, congratulations. Now is more important to be laser focused on what's happening. That's everybody who's here. This is our crypto and cocktails edition. So cheers if you are tuning in. And it's going to be a really good episode because, guys, now that we're laser focused, now that we're right there, the final hour, the moment of truth of Bitcoin, this could be some of your absolute best altcoin entries if Bitcoin ends up being able to break above the 50-week moving average and start to those here. So it is a very important time to pay a lot of attention. In this show, we'll be going over the strategies on how and when to get into altcoins, what to look for. Like, let's say you get a good entry now, but you don't know if you should stay based on what Bitcoin's doing. It's tough market conditions. We're going to sort of like guide you through that. Sorry, people are saying my audio is a little bit bad. Hope that's better now. Let me know if my audio is better, guys. I don't know, something's up with my internet. It's raining here, so sorry. What's up? What's up? Myrtle Beach. Yeah, what's up? Good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thanks, Chart, for letting me know. Richard, Solana's been a bear market since, it's true, since November 2024. Solana has shown a lot of weakness amidst others having much more strength. It did have quite a big run in the beginning of the last altcoin leg up. So yeah, it's not showing incredible strength right now, and it needs to climb back up in the rankings of network activity, speed, etc. Sorry, people are saying I don't have connectivity. Can you guys hear me now? I think I'll bring up Rob just in case. Can you hear me okay, Rob?
You're cutting it out a little bit on me, a little bit.
Okay, sorry guys. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like, you know, the weather here in Spain is not so great right now, so I don't know if it's interfering with my internet or not. Is that a little bit better?
I'm hearing you, but your video is not coming through.
Okay, Rob, I'm going to hand it to you while I figure out my internet, guys, just so we don't get the show too sloppy here, and then I'll come back with the news a little bit later. So, Rob, let's pull up your charts while I figure out my end. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right, guys, let's see if she pulls up my charts for me. So it looks like you guys just could be looking at me for a few minutes here. So, oh, there we go. There's my charts. Perfect. All right, so we're going to just go ahead and jump into some charting right now. I don't really, Megan will be back with the news. So let's go ahead. I was getting them kind of setting up already here. And we're going to jump into the weekly time frame first. And right now we are moving on the 1 day or 1 week SMA 50 big level that we're moving on right now, which that is at $103,000. Of course, right now we're beneath it by not that much. Our candles are just starting to turn purple. That's indecision, which we have hit in this bull market before. And we rebounded and we got recovered from it. But the one thing that's really important that people, whenever they start freaking out, is whenever we start going underneath a certain level, but they don't have patience enough to wait for candle closes. And in TA and in trading, candle closes are extremely important because that's showing you like the confidence on whatever move that is going to be happening. So like if you're a breakout trader, which I think we're gonna be having some trading videos here soon on breakout trading like that, one of the key core concept is where does the candle close? Do you close underneath or above and sit there and how it goes? It's how it goes. And so right now we have yet to have our close yet underneath the weekly SMA 50. It could be another wick underneath it. It might not be. We don't know yet until that does happen.
Right. So far, can you guys hear me okay now?
Oh, go ahead and try it.
Yep, I'm okay now.
Yep, you're better.
Okay. Yeah. So I just want to interject here, guys. We did have some important things happening, right? As Rob is about to go over the charts right now about where we're at on the weekly and what to gauge as far as critical levels for Bitcoin. When we may know more or less if Bitcoin's flipped bullish on the daily, Trump just announced the opening of the government. And it seems that Bitcoin is dumping on the news, typical, right? Sell the news kind of event. You would expect that we would rally on this news, but it's been a very strange market conditions, not a lot of strength right now. So Trump signed the bill last night to reopen the government after 43 days, the longest shutout in history, I do believe. The deal funds operations through the end of the year. So this was the nuance I wasn't aware of. So I found this. I think this is correct. It funds operations through the end of the year with another major vote still ahead. So that's where we stand right now. But the government will be reopening. I think it's already open now again. So that's bullish news. Now
cutting out again.
Okay, all right. I'll give it back to you now, Rob. I just wanted to make sure people know about this. All right.
All right. So with that being said, she was talking about the government shutdown there. Very good. That's very good that it's reopened. So we're definitely excited on that one there. See what happens afterwards here. But where was I at before on this chart here? So this right here is a trend chaser, which every time we came back down and went into it and got into it, then we always rebounded from this trend chaser too so far in this bull market. So that's kind of another level of support as well too, which we're just entering that right now from 99,000 and it goes all the way down to 92,000. So that's going to be a zone that gives you a nice zone on here. And the solid line is right there, right around $92,000. So on the weekly time frame, we're looking for that to hold a support. That holds support. We could be looking at a potential bear trap idea on the 50, but if not, we get a bearish retest of the 50, then we have to look at some other ideas for more downside. Now, this is where we're going to go into the daily next. Where is my daily chart? So 12-hour yesterday, we went over that we can come back down, fill up this bullish order block, and that would be like a liquidity grab or a liquidity sweep we might be looking at underneath this level here, which is now happening. So we were talking about this happening yesterday and be prepared for it, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Now, is it a liquidity grab or sweep? We don't know yet because we have yet to even have a candle close underneath it. If in the next 3 hours and 18 minutes, this gets bottomed back up and the candle closes all the way back up to here around 100,000, above 100,000 today, after the 12-hour candle close, that's going to be a liquidity grab. Now, if we close underneath here, we bounce around for a little bit, and then we close up above it, then we got a liquidity sweep. And also, again, like I was saying, we are still in this pattern here, whether I make it on, I can sit there and make this pattern on closed candles, or I can make it basically on the wicks, which I already have it on the wicks. But you can sit there and see if I make it on closed candles, we're still kissing the trend. We're right now touching the closed candles trend line, and we have one underneath it as well too, with using the candle wicks. So those are two ways that you can make trend lines on a chart. I messed up this one right here a little bit. Let me make that more perfect. But if you want to double check that stuff if you're ever on candle closes, you just go into the line chart. Every pivot is a candle body close. So now you know that for sure. I just put that bottom trend line on candle body closes. So now we are testing the very bottom of that. And we also can, if we go wick underneath it, no problem. We know our wicks can hit this bottom trend line as well too. Now, say this does say typical basic TA, we take out all the liquidity grab stuff, all the stuff that's a little bit more advanced on it that we were looking at before, and we just go into this right here, this pattern right here. What if it holds this support and we break out and we get a measured type of move on it, and we do break this top trend line, say like right around in here? You're looking at a measured move right back up close to the 1-day or 12-hour SMA 200, maybe a little bit above it. I would actually want to go a little bit, shrink this a little bit just to be a little bit more conservative. So you're looking at a good 100 up to 112,000 Bitcoin from where we're at now. Is that to a new all-time high? Am I saying no? But this is going to go into my thesis of what I'm going to expect for the alt season potentially that we can be having, with some charts showing that as well too. And this is going to be a very important idea behind Bitcoin and why we can see some alts to have some decent runs after this giant pullback in alts.
Right. Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yes, I heard you fine on that one.
All right. Well, so first of all, guys, it's crypto and cocktails. Rob, I don't even know if you had time to make yourself a cocktail because you've been hustling a lot lately. I know you came back right to the computer. You know how. Are you drinking something today, or what are we doing?
I figured today was an easy, quick day. We just did some moonshine.
Rob, it's moonshine. It's a moonshine kind of day, guys. It's one of those days where we need a little extra something, right? I like that. We are in extreme fear. 15, you guys, 15. Oh my goodness. If we are still in a bull market, which as of right now, we haven't had any confirmation that we are not, that is an insane opportunity potentially. So we're here while everybody else is panicking in extreme fear, talking about strategies, talking about invalidations, talking about what to look for as far as to get those really great entries. Okay, so now is the time to focus on that. I can't stress that enough. I'm drinking my favorite. I got to switch it up at some point, but it's Caribbean, Costa Rican pineapple and mango. I should know where it's from because it's my brand. But I'm really enjoying this, guys. And coffee, crypto and cocktails and coffee, if you're drinking coffee, is one of my favorite days of the week. We're doing it today because this will be the last live stream of this series in this format where we give sort of a master class and a longer format show. From next Tuesday, we will be starting the lives up again, but it'll be a different format where we do a little bit faster, sort of consolidated version here on YouTube, 15 to 20 minutes, and then we continue with the rest of the altcoin setups in Discord. Okay, so get in the Discord while it's open, while it's free for everybody. The early adopters get that benefit, right? The link is in the description below to the Hive, and get in there. Get ready, get fired up because I'm fired up, and also take advantage of the BYDFI promotion of 50% deposit bonus on $100, 50 free bucks to play with. That goes a long way when you're learning, so it's a really amazing thing. Sign up for that, and that'll give you perks toward our exclusive gated groups later, right? So guys, do jump on those things, and just remember, in days like today, you got to keep your head up, you got to zoom out, and you got to remember the bigger picture, right? So Michael Saylor says that Bitcoin will have 2035. All right. I guess the internet wants me to stop. I just wanted to give you your daily dose of optimism, right, among these insane market conditions. But I will pass it back to you, Rob, and let's continue with the charts. So just 1 second.
All right. So I think we left off on this 1 day chart. So this is the next part I was going to mention on the 1 day chart here. We have a potential death cross coming in. I like calling them the death pumps. We haven't officially got the death cross just yet, but typically when we get those, last time we got the death cross, that's the SMA 50 going underneath the SMA 200. I call them death pumps because the last time we got one was right in here. And that was, let me go ahead and put that right here. That was right here. And April of 2025, the 5th of it, and that was at 75 Bitcoin BTC. Whenever we lost everything, all hope was lost. Everything's going to be going down to zero. We're all fearful. We're in fear like we are right now, right in this area here. Then all of a sudden we pop back up. And then the last time we got a death cross before that. So it's not always exact pop rate on that moment, but, well, maybe it is. So looking at this one back here in 2024 of August, we had a death cross right here at this leg low right here, and then we popped back up, then we came back down, then we skyrocketed again. So we had a death pump, killed all the bears, came back down, double bottom, then went up to the top. So these death crosses, I'm sure they're probably, I haven't looked at X or anything like that because I just haven't, so I'm not sure if people were talking about this yet, but this is where I can just sit there and go back in history. Usually people talk about something, look left, see what happened last time this happened. So right here, another one, boom, death cross, 50 going underneath the 200. That's the red line going underneath the yellow line, marked the bottom again on this bull run. So that's getting, I thought it was like, so you go to last bull run, like when we had this, we didn't get that kind of chop very often. The first time we got the death cross was actually right here. And we did go a little, we went a little bit lower and then popped. So yeah, we got it right here. Then we dropped a little bit and then we kind of went sideways and then we popped and went back up on the last bull run. And then the second death cross was basically our death cross that actually held and went down here. So, but this bull run, we've so far had 1, 2, 3, 3 death crosses that marked the legit bottom of the pullback. So,
that's pretty good odds. I mean, that's pretty interesting data, right? It's compelling. It's like, well, how many times has this happened in history? And don't forget, going into very bullish macro environment as the government reopens, as potentially get helicopter money sent to everybody who's not high income in the US, $2,000 potentially, and also quantitative easing starting in December and a potential rate cut. I mean, God, right? Like this is just like the perfect storm for crypto to have a comeback if it ever did. So, we don't speak in absolutes, but we're looking at the charts. And as of right now, the data is pretty compelling. Hey, my name is Unit98. I have to shout out to you. I love your vibe. It's not fear. It's on sale. Let's freaking go. And what I resonate with is you say you're giving Theta and HBAR to your grandkids for Christmas. I remember one Christmas I gifted my whole family crypto. And it was so fun, and I showed them how to do the wallets and all this stuff. So I think it's a great Christmas present. And then it gets people crypto curious. And I love that. So Yeah, guys, this is the kind of attitude I like, you know, because this is how you can take advantage of opportunities by staying level-headed and just sticking to the strategy, which Rob will go over a strategy now for us for the altcoins on, you know, whether or not now could be a good entry for some of them, or what should we look for when we're trying to get in, right? So, Rob, I'll let you get back to it.
All right, so I'm going to jump into the altcoins now since we got the idea that Bitcoin we could be at a local bottom, and I'm just going to go in the ideas of right now. So we went over the ETH was ETH slash BTC yesterday, and also Bitcoin dominance is getting rejected from the weekly SMA 50. We got ETH slash Bitcoin retesting the weekly SMA 50. A lot of SMA 50s in here being retested one way or another. So say we go worst case scenario that we only have this small pump up to here, but those things kind of like Bitcoin dominance starts dumping, ETH slash Bitcoin starts pumping, while Bitcoin slowly grinds up here. We could see some alts have some massive runs while Bitcoin doesn't even make a new all-time high. It just kind of comes up to these levels again, which you can kind of see happens as well. Like whenever you go back to some of these, like the one of them, whenever this happened, Bitcoin kind of popped up and then kind of dropped back down. So even if we do get this to pop and drop, we can see some massive, hopefully, moves in altcoins, at least a reef rally. So next,
right. I actually like what you just showed. If you could go back there for a minute, where Bitcoin popped back down and around. A lot of people think that we'll get this Santa Claus rally where potentially Bitcoin skyrockets up to new all-time high before end of year, but we might get a scenario like this, right, where we're sort of playing ping pong until early 2026, and then we decide to go back up. I don't know, but so like there's several scenarios. I mean, even potentially Bitcoin could make a lower high. We could go into a bear market after that, and altcoins could still have an incredible run. But I don't think that's the case based on all the data that I've studied. Obviously, I could be wrong, and we'll let the charts dictate that. But we could be in a little bit of a consolidation, sort of ping-pongy effect, dancing queen kind of thing, like Rob likes to call it, before being ready to break above an all-time high. And even then, that'd give us some pretty good trading conditions, most likely for altcoins, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would rather a altcoin rally right now at this point than a Bitcoin rally, because I think that's where the big percentage gains will be, and I think that's what people really need as well too.
Right. Sort of what I'm looking at, and that's why it's so important to pay attention right now. I mean, seriously, everybody who's just packed up and gone home. I mean, short of not having liquidity to buy the dip, which is understandable, but even to manage your current positions, you need to be focused right now.
100%. And the reason you got to be focused, so you're in the best, if you're in the Discord, I think the last setup I was posting in there and that we posted and we talked about basically has been STRK. Am I correct?
Yep. Oh yeah.
So we're up 10% on the day on STRK, depending on where your entry's at as well too. You're potentially up 12% as of right now too, because what is my strategy on the 1 day time frame? You buy the retest of the 1 day SMA 9, which we retested yesterday, and from that retest we're up 10%. If you're scaling in on the 1 day SMA 200, you're up a good 12%, 13% as of this moment. It's green on the day. The only token that we basically discussed it a lot, I think we posted last in our Discord, it is up. We said it was potentially sweeping the lows on lower time frames, and we're in profits. It's up very strong right now. Very, very strong token. It's still golden. So it's doing something different. So make sure if you're not in that token, zoom in and get eyes on it to find a good entry on it. Like if we break, what would this be? If we break the 4 hour SMA 9 and retest it, might be a good entry because we're moving on that right now. So make sure that you're in strong coins. Now, what about all the other coins and all that other type stuff? Now, what do we always say? If you close underneath the 1 day 9, especially if you bearishly retest it, you just leave the trade and you wait, or you look for short opportunities, depending if you're trading short or not. Right now I've just been so busy where I haven't really got to post any shorts, but right here we closed underneath the 1 day 9. This is BAT, one of the setups in here. I left in profits. I didn't get as much gains as I wanted to, but whenever we close and we kind of were up in this area, I left my trade, and now it's down 14%, 12%. It actually hasn't gone back down to my entry, but I just saved myself of a 12% pullback just from that simple strategy. So very, very simple. And you look at it, you had the bearish oscillators on the 1 day, and now it's down testing the 1 day SMA 50. I'm not buying just yet because it might bounce around and go kind of a little bit lower and test down a little bit lower and go down 14, 24%. So this is a BAT. This is something I've been in for about 2 weeks now, 14 days. I think I bought it somewhere back in this area right here. Yeah, I think I bought it right back in here. I got some pretty decent gains on it. We posted it in group quite a few times. And right there was just my signal that I wanted to leave. I want to leave with my profits that I had on it. I was happy, and now I'm going to wait for a new setup on it. And you could do that with almost any setup that we post in here as well too. So very simple. And then the next trick is how to zoom in and nail your entries, which we'll go over another day in Discord. But just it's about strategy in the end, and knowing when to leave and wait for a bigger pullback, how to buy the dip, or how to just wait for your signals. So there's just like, why am I not in fear in the market? Because I have a strategy and I stick to it, and I stick to my game plan. And whenever I get my leave the trade signals, I leave. Whenever I get my entry, I enter. So for me, it's just strategy, no matter what it is, no matter it's bull, bear, it doesn't matter to me, because the entry signal is an entry signal. The leave trade signal is a leave trade signal. If you leave in a small profit, big profit, little loss is usually the goal. Keep your losses small, let your runners win.
Yeah, no, I like that. And so what would your strategy be if somebody were to buy like on the, if it's hovering on the 1-day 9, for example, now, should they put their stop losses right below the 9, give it a little bit of breathing room? Like, what kind of strategy could they have? I
mean, that there is going to be more of the complex stuff what they to get into. So let me see if I can find one real quick to kind of look at. Let's go into here. We were going to talk about how STRK, before we started the show, we were going to talk about how STRK is just sitting on the 1-day 9, but it's no longer sitting on the 1-day 9, and now it's up 14% from the 1-day 9. So we can't talk about that one now. Market's already moving.
Literally just pumped right before we started the show.
Yep. So, WELFI, let's go ahead and talk about this one.
Okay, World Liberty, Donald Trump family coin.
Yeah, so I already had lines drawn on this one from another setup that I was looking at. It's following my arrows. So what would you do? Like, so right now, this actually is still not closed underneath the 1-day 9. Entry was actually right here. I never took that entry. I'm gonna be looking to actually buy soon potentially, but I don't really like the way my oscillators look right there. So I'm not gonna sit there and be front running this with how the market conditions are. So that's when you gotta start zooming into like 1-day time frames. Hey, look, we're getting a golden slap on it, golden cross, and now we're going down.
Right.
So that's where you kind of zoom in and you set your alerts on. So this kind of has like a falling wedge type of deal. So you have to sit there and put trend lines on it and not really do anything. This is a time where you kind of want to set your alerts. So you can sit there and set your alerts and see how far this goes down. Set your alerts on the 4-hour SMA 9 and kind of see what goes down. Let's see if I can find anything better that looks kind of better than that one there that explains the idea that I'm looking at. That's typically so. FF, that's a weird token to trade. I'm not going to go through that one. Let's look at XRP. So XRP is retesting the 1-day SMA 9. So like, what would you do right here? So this is on the 1-day 9 right now, XRP. We're moving on it. We have yet to close above it. Like what I was saying in the beginning, the close of candles are extremely important. Have we lost it? No, we have not lost it. We're just moving underneath it. By the end of day, in 3 hours, that can be a wick that we're at now. So
and actually, XRP is an interesting one to look at because it's one of the dumpier looking. I mean, look at that massive wick there. I don't know if that was the
right here.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that is. But they just announced in the news that I was supposed to give you guys. I mean, this is huge, right? XRP has had a lot of news for so long, and it's been suppressed for so long because of the lawsuit and all that stuff. But they literally just announced the XRP ETF. Okay, and that is like massive news because people are wondering like, when is it going to happen? Well, 6 hours ago, here it is. First spot XRP ETF begins trading in the US. Massively bullish, but we all know that sometimes they dump a little bit on that news, but it couldn't be more bullish. I mean, there's like very, very few coins that are trading in ETFs right now, and XRP is the banker coin, and that's all the mainstream people hear about it. So I would definitely keep your eyes on this one because that could get going in a big way once they start getting inflows. So, Peter, welcome to the show. John, holy dip. I just checked. That's right. That's right. But we're celebrating here on Crypto and Cocktails Days. We've got our cocktails and Rob has his moonshine and we are still rocking and rolling. I just want to remind you, if you just joined the stream, to get in the Discord while it's still open until next Tuesday when it will finally be gated. And we want to reward all of our early adopters and supporters. Okay. So Peter, who's still hodling? Well, I think most of this channel. I think that's why you guys are here, because you're the diehards. You're the ones that want to know what's happening at every moment. So yeah, a little concern with BTC falling. We did address this, Peter. Don't worry. In the beginning of the stream, it has not closed below the 50-week. It's a long week to go still. And We did go over yesterday in yesterday's stream how we could come back down to sweep the lows or have a liquidity grab, right, Rob? I mean, one is just like a brief wick, and then the other is just a little bit longer of a consolidation. I just really simplified it, but that's what we just went over, and that's not an abnormal thing in these conditions, right, Rob? I don't know if you wanted to add to that or make it a little bit more easier to understand.
Yeah, like liquidity grabs, that they're usually the things that they take out people's stop losses, stuff like that. And if people were buying down here on before, they're looking at putting their stop loss. They have their stop loss, and right now we're basically kind of hitting them. So it just basically depends on candle closes right now to see if we get confirmation of more downside or if we don't, and bearish retest. But again, you also have the facts that we can have bear traps, which are typically a sweeping of the lows after the bear, it turns into a bear trap, basically.
Right.
And the Discord we have in the Discord shows how do you enter and what do you look for, what's it look like. So we do have that in the Discord already.
Yeah, so we're keeping you posted, all day in the Discord, just updating you with important news. Rob is with the setups and his team, and we're on it, guys. So like, don't worry, we got you. We're gonna keep you updated. I see Magnus with the big eyeballs. Yeah, it's quite a day here in crypto, but we are not. We're not strangers to volatility. We've survived Bitcoin dying hundreds of times. Too many to count now, and this is just another day in crypto. And yes, we did. I don't want to use the word expect, but we did foresee that this kind of move could happen based on how liquidity grabs and sweeping of the lows work. Okay, so actually, right around this $98,000 level is what we said yesterday. I think we could go probably all the way down to 94, possibly. I don't know though. We're not going to get more into Bitcoin at this moment. But if you do want to know more, get into the Discord, guys, because we might not get to stream until next Tuesday. And I don't want you guys to be without the information for that long. So we will be doing updates and posts in the Hive. We may get on for a quick stream while I'm in Lisbon. I'll be in Lisbon with the biggest YouTubers, guys, with the Banter fam, with Altcoin Daily, with all the guys. So let me know if you want me to do content with some of them, or you guys, who's your favorite YouTuber out there besides us? I'm just saying, smash the like, hit the subscribe, and share this if you do want to support our channels. We are trying to grow because we have so much value to give, and we want everybody to be able to access. So Andrew, what's up? Haven't seen you in a long time. Did the XRP ETF perform well today? I see prices on Twitter have been tracking the trading volume more than the price. Yeah, actually, I haven't even looked at that. I just saw the news now because we've been busy building, guys, But let's see, XRP inflows. See if we can find some quick data on this, because yeah, I'd be interested. But the thing is, this is typical for, after the ETFs open, or, when ETH ETF was announced, it was a dump as well. And it's typical, like post launch is a little bit of a lull. They got to go out there and like Wolf of Wall Street this thing. Like they've got to go call their clients and explain to them why this is a potentially good option. I mean, there's a lot of education that comes into it. Also, it's not optimal conditions at all for altcoins right now. So, ETF buyers are retail a lot of times, and they buy greed and they sell fear. So it wouldn't surprise me that it's not doing well in these conditions. So that being said, massive potential. I mean, wow, that's huge news. It's huge news. I definitely hold a big bag of XRP as a foundational pillar. That's part of my strategy, but I will also be trading it. So keep your eyes on XRP. Rob was just explaining a few strategies on what to look for, how to get in, and when to jump out if that trade doesn't play out just yet. Right, Rob?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So like basically the signs I'm seeing right now, I'm big on the moving averages. So you can see right here, we had the slap over here, the golden slap, whenever you had the golden look, that came down. And then over here, now we're getting the opposite effect. We got the death cross here, which I call it the death pump, where we started pump right here, but we barely retested it. Now we're coming back down and retesting a 9, and we want to see a candle close on it. Now XRP only moves fast like every once in a while. So this is one where you can kind of be patient, and you kind of just wait till daily close and see if we daily close 2% higher than it is right now. So you don't want to sit there and try to ape in right now, because if we don't close above it and we close underneath it and barely retested it, there just might be a better opportunity to long it later on. Now, if you're a short trader, you can sit there and look at the open up short, because we don't have our bullish cross signals on our oscillators just yet. So potentially, if we lose this level, it actually is a shorting opportunity, or it's a wait to buy the dip signal as well too. So it just depends on how you're trading and stuff like that. How low can we go? I mean, my thing is put fibs on it, make it simple.
Right.
How low can you go? Sorry, I'm singing the
Yeah.
song.
Limbo. Let's go.
So right now we've tested the 0.5 fib. Now the 616 fib is next. So that's at $1.69, and the 786 fib, that's at $1.18. And that's still up compared to whenever we started breaking out. And that's the retrace from that big giant breakout on 2024 where we skyrocketed in XRP. This is just the retracement levels from that pump. So it's not like I'm saying we're going to bear market lows. We're going to anything like that, like we had over in here. It was just horrible. And just horrible sideways drop. It's just normal retracements that we're kind of looking at on it. So nothing to like, if you bought Bitcoin at 20 cents, there's a high probability you won't be going upside down ever again, or you're not going upside down anytime soon. You just might be giving back some gains. You have to wait for it to get the gains up higher. Up to you on how you play it.
Right. And I like what you said about when XRP moves, it tends to have these like violent moves, right? And then it consolidates for a long time and then violent moves. So yeah, when this thing starts to take off, you'll get notice, and that'll be the time to pay attention. So yeah, I would say definitely keep your eye on this. I see Peter here said Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, XRP are top main institutional cryptos for now. HBAR as well is should be up there because they've got their ETF. So those are all looking really solid to me. Yeah.
Yep.
Long term.
Sol is back down to where we bought at before. So I'm at break even on Sol as of right now, or I got stopped out at slight profits. So I might have to actually look at getting back in, depending on how some candle closes go here. Because I think I bought down in here. I think we said it on our live we did that on the 2-week chart. And when we got this bullish order block buy-in, now we're just back down to those levels. If we hold these levels, I'll be getting back into my trade. But yeah, it's just kind of everything's at kind of a waiting game. Like yeah, I think I actually left the trade right here in slight profits when we closed underneath the 1-day 9. That's what I did yesterday. That's just my strategy. So I know where I leave. So I'm saving myself on. I think I was up 5% on the entry once we closed back underneath it. Or back underneath it, I gave back 11% gains, so I didn't give those back. So I'm really happy on that one. That was actually, I think we went over on the live. We bought an order block down here. We had limit buys set. I said I was setting limit buys down there, and they got filled. So those are the orders that I've made. I made like, when I look at it, I made about 5% on it. So yeah, exactly 5% gains. Now I get to sit there and see if I can do that over again, or I'll be looking to sit there and get in lower. I'm a trader, so I don't really hold anything. So I'm more of the trading aspect on getting in and out. I like the compound gains. So I don't have I'm not buying any long-term bags. I'm just trading it until I get good swing entries, and then I use the following stop loss.
Right. And that is something that you all should learn. Okay. But I know we have a lot of long-term holders as viewers, and that's okay too. But this could potentially be a strategy to trade to add to your long-term bags if that's within your strategy. Right. So that's something else to consider. I like the hybrid approach where I have my long-term portfolio that I don't touch, but I also have my trading portfolio where I attempt to compound those gains like Rob's talking about. So I think that is a very good strategy for a lot of you tuning in. And now is the time to learn. We actually are also going to have our free trading course up in the group for everyone who's already in there, accessible to get into now. Basically from tomorrow, I think we'll be able to get that up. And then from Tuesday, it'll be gated. So if you do want to brush up, even if you are a trader, you should definitely watch the videos. Each training course, there's 17 videos. They're short videos, so they're anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. But they really explain just the basics so you remember what you're looking for. They have quizzes after them, so it's really dynamic. Go and take advantage of these resources, guys. And then we're going to come out with the real juice, which is all of Rob's top trading tips on market entries, bear market, bull market exits, all the things you want to know. We're going to put that into one amazing product, which is coming soon. So that's that. I think we're looking at Clanker now.
Yep, I want to pull up Clanker. This is one that we have posted in a group that we got 325% gains, and we almost nailed the very top target I had on here. I was scaling out all the way up to here. So yeah, once we started kind of losing some things, I just exited my position. But now we are actually the position. If you're still in it, you gave back 56% of your gains, which is no good. But if you exit your full position, you can sit there and start looking at taking taking those profits and potentially getting back in. So right now we're getting close to the. I'm gonna go ahead and delete our old chart from where we entered on it, because now it's all brand new. Now we got a whole new setup on it that we got to sit there and make on it, and we are going on to hard support right now, which is right here. So we are touching that right now, and you could sit there and you pull up the Fibonacci levels on it. Right now, the 786 is just underneath here. So we lose this level here. I'm probably going to be taking entry. That's losing my best entry zone right around $50. But if we start holding the $63, I'm probably going to have to look for entry on it as well, too. Whenever this thing took off, it did have good news on it. I haven't checked any news on it just lately, but I just been waiting for this pullback because I know they always happen after you get a good run up. And I don't want to sit there and just sell up here, then buy here, then lose the gains I did bang on it. I want to wait for the nice, good, strong pullbacks to get entry on. So this is something to keep an entry on here, and I'm probably going to be using not the 4-hour. I'm probably going to use the 12-hour 9 potentially for a close above it to get entry on it is what I'm kind of looking for. Everything else seems to be faking out a little bit too much, but we start getting closer down there. You see, his 1 hour is working out pretty good. I might use the 1-hour 9 as well too. If we make one more leg down to sit there and more nail in my entry. Other than that, that's a good token to keep your eye on. It's one of those ones that, hey, we nailed it in group. Let's see if we can nail it again.
Right. No, absolutely. And there's one other one I want to look at. But first off, Peter, I just saw you said salud. Do you speak Spanish? Because I do too. Salud, skol to real ice bear. How many different languages do we have in here? That's pretty cool. And I want to know how to say cheers in your language. What are you guys drinking? What are you drinking, Peter? Guys, are you having coffee? How are you feeling? How's the week been? Are you hanging in there? Talk to us a little bit. You know, coffee, cryptos, and cocktails. That's what this stream is all about. Mark from Auckland, New Zealand, checking in. What's up? Good morning to you out there from tomorrow, from the other side of the world. I love it. I love it. We're just going over some setups here and talking strategy. Get your game face on, because now is when the winners win. That is for sure. And it's all happening now, guys. All of those entries you always wanted. I remember this video that I recorded walking through Puerto Banús. It's like a port here in Spain where we live. It's got like, it's a crazy hub, right? Like, I think Jeff Bezos just had his boat here not too long ago, and all of these crazy yachts and crazy stuff, right? And so I was walking through that port saying, like, guys, we got to level up, just full of energy. And I remember saying Bitcoin might crash down one more time, you know, and it could go under 100,000. It would scare the living crap out of everybody, and that would be the best. Here we are, and everybody's scared. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What is your strategy? That's what we're trying to help you do here. So yeah, let me know how you're feeling, what you're doing, what your game plan is. And Rob, I think maybe we should have a look at Aster. Aster's about to break back above its daily. Well, it never broke below, but it's teetering. It's playing Dancing Queen. So maybe we can have a look at that one after AVAX here.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just looking through to see if there's anything while you were talking about there's anything that I really liked right now. But everything kind of looks most tokens look basically the same to me.
Right.
And that's a good thing, in my opinion, because it's just how it works. So Aster right now, yeah, we are retesting the 1-day SMA 2 or 1-day SMA 9. We came back into the pattern. We never got the breakout level that we were kind of looking for. So this is definitely one to keep an eye on. Let's go ahead and look at the volume. Why did my volume get turned off? No crazy volume spikes in the 1-day chart. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one here, see if I see anything new. I delete charts all the time because then you don't sit there and get blinded by looking at the same thing. It looks like we're just basically, so if I would do like a point of control, it would be right here in the middle most likely. It looks like we're just basically sitting on that level here. Zoom in on the 4-hour chart. We did a bull trap on the 4-hour SMA 200. And it just looks like we're playing Dancing Queen in this area. So personally, right now, doing something I think it's more of a waiting game. 12-hour SMA 50 retest. I think this is the golden level right here. We have 12-hour close in 2 hours and 46 minutes. This is looks like a very strong support. Like I said, if you would draw like a point of control on this token, I think that right here would be it. And if this level holds at $1, and let's see exactly where that's at. Let me move my white line here. So $1.06 basically. If we hold that level, I think that's the level of the local low of the strong support. Now we lose that, we're probably going to go lower. We're have to sit there and go alt inverse and kind of look at something else, see what we're going to, maybe we'll get all the way back down to here, or we make some kind of double bottom up to here or something like that. But as of right now, that 12-hour SMA 50, I think, is key. If we hold that or not, that's the level I'll be looking for on that one.
Okay, I like it. Now you got the potential play here happening right now. Keep an eye on that. Next couple hours, several hours from now, we'll get that candle closed. And hey, we got another super hodler here. He has every coin he ever bought. My name is Unit98, except Bitcoin. He's Bitcoin profits flipping alts. That's pretty cool. I gotta say, pretty cool. Peters is playing the violin even as the Titanic sinks. Made me laugh. Yeah, well, you know, that's how you have to live life, I guess. You know. Let's see. HODL. I did the same with Bitcoin, but into ETH and Sol. Okay, you guys have your plans. You have your strategies. Let's go. He says, no violin. Playing Aussie Crazy Train. Jump on board. We got many different styles here in the chat. Let us know what kind of music you're going to be playing as the Titanic sinks. That's the theme for today. Rob, what's on your channel?
For music wise?
Yeah, as the Titanic sinks, what are you listening to?
Probably something from System of a Down. That's usually my favorite band I listen to.
Wow. It's been a long time. I actually don't know what I'd be listening to as the Titanic down. I don't know. The violin is pretty classic. I kind of like that. But guys, this ship is not sinking. This ship is looking to get its solid grounding. That's what I believe. That's what I think we're seeing here. Hopefully, we'll see, right? But that's my thesis, as you guys know, and until proven otherwise, that's what I think is happening here. So, yeah, I don't know. Are we any other charts to look at? Any other concerns, questions you guys have? Let us know, because we're coming to the end of the stream now. So we're here to answer any doubts, questions. Also, you know, we have a really great chat going on in Discord, also in the Crypto Gents chat where Rob is. You can ask us anything all day long. We're hanging out. So, yeah.
So here's something I just pulled up this chart. I haven't looked at it for a little bit because you just asked that question. Any charts you want to really look at? And I haven't pulled this one up just yet. This is my altcoin take profit chart. So every time we go, the breakout level is this blue line right here, which I made it green at 47. This is altcoins versus Bitcoin. As you see, altcoins haven't gone up very much against Bitcoin. I never really breached the breakout level on it. And something I just noticed, why all the altcoins are sinking right now. Let's just make this a little bit bigger. This is just starting to point up, and that's a good signal right there. I like that that's starting to point up right there. So that means our altcoins starting to get strength over Bitcoin. So it is something that I am going to start paying attention to this chart again here. See if we start getting some strength on this right here. Because if it starts to get above the big green level and holds it, then we start getting up to the yellow level. That's whenever altcoins really, really do take off. Right now we are losing some support. This is the total 2 up here. We are losing some support up here, and now the what's called SMA 21 support. So we have lost that already, and now we're gonna be looking at SMA 100. That's my blue line. So these are different colors on here, so I had to mark them. I have to sit there and read it myself, so I know what I'm looking at. So it's not my normal colors on here because I just had to use some different ones. I was looking for ones with more confluence that are a little bit stronger for this chart. So looking at that right now, we're coming down to retesting one. This is the 1 week SMA 100 that we're retesting on total 2. So we're testing some even stronger SMAs potentially here soon on the total 2 chart. So this is some good news on some potential local low buys coming in for altcoins is what I'm kind of basically getting at. Even though they're lower than they have been, we need a local low at some point to order to get some gains, or knowing when to compound your gains, or DCA your entries or something like that. So the goal is for, like, if you're a long-term holder, you want to wait and be patient for the best entries during that time that you are looking to buy in. So we potentially might be going into one of those as of right now. I put this green lines out. We got some good strong supports. One there, right here and here. So are we looking for an S&R flip right here? Because we never did. Let me get rid of this. I'm looking at it. We never did actually, when we broke this at this time, we actually never did retest this level. So this is the first retest of this level on the, once we broke it, we just went up. We never came back down, except for this. I'm not including the scam wick. I don't include the scam wick of that liquidation event. This is going to be our first solid, like, basically candle retouch of it. So I'll be watching that kind of more closely now that I just pulled this up, to sit there and see how we react after the 1 week. Do we close underneath it, or do we close above it? So it's going to be very, very, I think, important as well too.
Yeah, interesting. We're keeping an eye on this chart. Actually, Peter says if we can go over USDT dominance, I think that actually might be a good idea, just to check if there's any confluence there.
That we can. Hang on a second here.
Yeah, and then we have Welder out of the woodworks. Another major partnership announced with Theta Labs today. Wow. See, Theta is just one of those that's just like silently building in the background, and I believe will take everybody by surprise. Thanks for the update there, Welder. I hope you're having a great day. And yeah, the hopium is real for Theta. Let's see. It's been a long time of accumulation here. So yeah, let's have a look at what's happening with USDT.
All right, so as I'm looking at this right now, this is what I'm basically looking at. We're going into strong resistance. This trend line was made basically on candle wicks, and we also have the weekly. Is that the SMA 200 I have on there? That is the SMA 200 I have on there. So we're coming up and bearishly retesting the weekly SMA 200, which is even a stronger resistance than the SMA 50. I wonder where the SMA 50 is at. I just want to see. So let's go ahead and change and put that on there real quick. So that's all the way down here. So we broke and retested that. Now we're coming up here and we're bearishly retesting the SMA 200. So even if we get rejected from here and come all the way back down to there, that means we could get some good alts possibly or some good longs on here. So we're coming into major resistance. Let's go ahead and put one more trend line on here that I want to see where this kind of ends up at. This is closed candles that we're looking at right here. Make sure this is perfect and right. So that way I'm not sitting there trying to force anything to happen. That's losing mistakes right there. So we're moving on that one here. So the closed candle one here, let's make sure those closed candles are correct. Yep, it is. So right now we're snug right against the closed candle chart. We haven't closed above it in the weekly time frame just yet, but we are moving on the closed candle part of it, but we are not moving on the wicks yet. So if you draw the trend line on the wicks, it's a completely different area. And I like the wick one on this one here just due to the weekly SMA 200. I think it's going to hold more value because of the weekly SMA 200 being right there. So getting rejected from there might be, if we get all the way back up there and get rejected from there, is potentially going to be your best entry in for crypto, because that means people are taking taking their USD and buying altcoins or buying Bitcoin, buying crypto. They're taking money out of their stables unless they're all together. If that's happening, then yeah. But
I like that confidence. That was a great suggestion, Peter. Yeah, that's interesting. As we come into this big potential rejection zone, and as Bitcoin is keeping the lows potentially, is this setting up for, at the very least, a very big bounce, right?
Yep. Most hated rally. Hopefully we'll get one of those in crypto, because everybody's bearish right now and everybody's going to be going short, and we get a most hated rally and everybody gets liquidated on shorts and they all get wrecked. They keep on trying to short it, and then everybody's like, oh, this rally is horrible because they sold everything and they went short and then they got wrecked. And it's actually a real term for stock markets. If you sit there and just type in the most hated rally in stocks or whatever, you'll get a bunch of different scenarios where that happens. So we'll get one of those here soon in crypto.
It's going to be the most hated rally by everyone except for those of you tuning into this show, because you be ready for it. You got in on this, this dip. Getting your entry is like the hardest part about all of this, right? It's the most work. And then once you're able to establish that, it's a smoother sailing. So this is the hardest part of the market, guys. So if you've been able to like navigate this fairly well, or you're learning in these market conditions, imagine how you'll be when things are easy and, alts are popping and things are hot. It's going to be a whole nother scenario.
Yep, 100%. Trying to think if there's any other good charts we can look at today. We can look at and see where the fear level's at. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, we're in extreme fear. 15 guys, in a bull market. I just want to shout out, my name is Una here. I set up a bellwether account and put 1,000 in it. I mirror my big trades in it, but just use it to see my gains and losses using an even number. It's still over 3,000, so I'm still at 3x. Okay, that's a very, very interesting way of doing it. That does keep it nice and simple. See, everybody's got their strategies. So as long as you've got one and it's working for you, then you just stick to it. Even on these emotional days, whether they're emotionally euphoric or emotionally fearful, you stick to your strategy, right? So speaking of fear, let's have a look.
So yeah, I'm looking at this fear. I want to go big again. So this is my fear and greed index right now, which we're actually pointing up. We're not in max fear anymore. We were in max fear before. So the ones that you see on like the websites and stuff like that, mine's a little bit different here. So basically we're pivoting out of it. Now we're kind of coming out of it, telling me that we're going out of fear and we're going to be going into neutral and going into, and hopefully if we keep pointing up and going up, we'll be going to greed. And that's when we start getting our moves up. So I always like seeing these pivots right here. Let's go ahead and see what the 12-hour chart's telling us. 12-hour, we just left greed. So let's see what that looked like right there. So yeah, 12-hour, when we were in greed, yeah. So that little pump right there put us in the greed, and now we got our next sell off. So 1 day, 12-hour. I was like looking at high time frames, of course. We never actually got a sell signal in the 1 day time frame. So we're definitely playing some dancing queen. We need a little bit more strength. We need this to get up a little bit before the price action starts following this level right here. Because it follows it all the way down, it's going to follow it all the way up as well too. If we start breaking out of this fear level on this fear chart right here.
So this one's a little bit different than the Fear and Greed website, right? It looks like it's a little bit front running, or what would you know?
It's my own Fear and Greed chart. It's more for trading purposes.
Personal sauce.
It's more for trading purposes, not for sitting there and looking at it. It's a different type.
Right. Okay. Well, so this is potentially showing us that we may be leaving that fear area very, very soon. We've already left it on this chart or about to, but it still reflects extreme fear. So guys, that's the thesis, right? And you understand the bias here until we close below the 50-week moving average. If that were to happen, then we'd look at a different scenario. But for now, there's a lot of confluence telling us that potentially we're not just going to capitulate from here, right? So there was some volume on T Fuel recently. I don't know who's been buying up T Fuel, but maybe some kind of whale who's excited about Theta. I don't know. But yeah, except T Fuel and Theta got way too much to mirror. Yeah. Okay. We have a lot of Theta holders here in this community. So that's what's up, man. We have to be patient. Patience is key. But now you guys have some strategies on how to get in, when to get in, what to look for, and all of that as we go into the weekend here and Friday, potentially big day to end the traditional trading week. And then we've got the weekend before the next weekly close where we'll get more confirmation of where this market is headed.
I think so. Next week holiday, right? It's next week Thanksgiving. I can't remember.
No, that's a little bit of a ways away.
Okay. Oh man,
it's the week after. Yeah.
Yep. And then I think one other thing I was paying attention to in group I was posting about as well too is big data coming out. I'm not sure. Did you read this one yet? About how all of October data may not be released because they didn't get to collect it. So the Fed is kind of steering blind right now, and the market doesn't have the information or data they need to make decisions. Did you read about that one yet?
No, I did not.
Oh, yeah, you have to read over that one there. So basically, since we had this long government shutdown for the last month, this is the first time in U.S. history. Let me go ahead and pull up Discord so I can read it.
As you pull it up, Theta's new partners in Spain. I got to check that out. Do you know who it is? Maybe I could go check it out, go talk to them. They're close to me. Theta partnership.
All right. So October. So I posted this in a group earlier today. October data blackout. First time in U.S. history. Markets are flying by, and for the first time ever, the key October reports: job inflation, consumer health may never be released. The shutdown didn't just delay the data, it erased it completely. So why this matters is there's no jobs report, no signal for recession or growth, no CPI, no equals Fed guessing on inflation, no macro data, traders relying on noise and not fundamentals behind all the gears that's going on into the markets and stuff like that. So basically right now what we're kind of basically watching for really strongly is November's reports are going to hit a lot more harder than normal. Private data like ADP, job postings, credit card spending, stuff like that are going to now carry more weight because we don't have data from the previous month, and that's what people are going to be looking at. They're going to be searching. That's what the big guys are going to be looking at, trying to find what is going on with everything in the background, all that type of stuff. And then also people are going to be sitting there starting to think Fed decisions may misfire without October's content. So
we're in like a blackout right now without any information. That's causing a lot of macro uncertainty, and hence, we're in these interesting territory, this interesting area where people don't quite know what to do or how to react. Fed could be guessing on inflation. Yeah. Realized Bear says White House press secretary said Fed jobs data will not be provided for October. Yeah, that's kind of a predicament right there, right?
Like history. There's no reason to guess on. It's the first time in history, and this is where I sit there and say the strategies that we talk about is extremely important, because can we sit there and go back in history and say, based off of this in history, we can look for something similar to this? No, we can't do that right now. But what I can say is I can set alerts on my 1 day 9, set my alerts on my entry signals, on bullish crossovers, and then take my entry, put my stop losses in, and wait and be patient. For long-term orders, if you're looking to add to your bags, just wait for those closes above, and then that's whenever you can sit there and get your local low in. If it gets rejected, then you know you're getting another leg down, to get another better entry in.
Absolutely. So that's the strategy. That's a perfect way to wrap up this stream, guys. The perfect summary of what we're looking at here. We're going to depend on the charts and the price action to tell us what to do. Okay. We're not going to guess. We're just going to follow the signals. Realized Bear says wet blanket Jerome will love this, of course. Yeah. Jerome, our favorite. Yeah, but let's see what happens. But right now.
Uh-oh. You cut out? I think she cut out right towards the end. So, everybody, while we're waiting for Megan to come back on here, I'll go over some altcoins. We'll do some surprise altcoins, so that way it's just not left blind here.
I think.
Is she coming back on? I don't know.
I think so.
She's still cutting out. I don't know if I'm talking to myself at this point now, but let's look at ZK while we're waiting for her to get back online. So this is another one that I got stopped out of with profits. I'm looking to get back into as well, is ZK, because it has a lot of bullish news on it, very big strength on here. And now that we're looking at it, we're getting down to the 0.786 Fibonacci level. The only thing I don't like is it did lose the 1 day SMA 200. Are we still on live? Yeah, we are. So I'm going to keep going. So, so this is going to be the 0.786 Fibonacci level is where I'm going to be looking at getting on into. And we're also, if I go on this trend line right here, we may be getting this might be the entry right here, but we got to sit there and wait and see if we get that confirmation on this to hold. So no rushing into it, just in case we do get the full Fibonacci retracement on here. So I'm being patient on here. And another thing we can do is we can zoom into the 12-hour chart. 6-hour chart. Let's see how that one looks. 4-hour. I'm looking at moving averages and seeing which ones are the strongest ones. So I am liking the 12-hour right here. So we can set alerts on the 12-hour SMA 9 or the 4-hour. Looks like it's being good resistance right now. So 4-hour as well too. We get that close above the 4-hour. We could be looking for a good entry on ZK, which has been a very strong mover and is also the reason why STRK is strong. Same kind of same platform, they work together and all that type of stuff. So make sure this is on your watch list. This is something I got stopped out in profits that I'm looking to buy lower now, taking my profits of recycling back in. Very strong token.
Okay, I think I'm back. Am I back, guys? Tell me if I'm back. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're back.
Okay. I think we're going to wrap this up here because Spain, I don't know what's going on, man, but my internet is going in and out. It's raining super hard here. We never have these kind of storms. So, Rob, thank you for filling in as I was frozen. This is what happened. I got frozen in fear because of market. No, the opposite, guys, the opposite. Stick to your strategy. Let the charts tell you what to do, and we'll be keeping you.
Uh-oh, she's paused again. So I'm going to continue going on here. So we are going on strong support. This is going to be a hilarious video here. But we are going on strong support here. So just keep your eyes on this token. Very strong. Did she cut me off yet? Let's see here. Nope, we're still live. Yeah, we're still live. So I think Megan's trying to say bye to everybody. So make sure you guys just be ready for whatever comes in. Have your alerts set is all I'm going to have to say as of right now. But until she ends the stream, I'm just going to keep going over TA until she ends the stream because that's what I do.